Hey guys, I thought I would take a moment today to tell you about the first major challenge I had to overcome in my struggle against unwanted behaviors. The moment I made the decision to start really fighting against these unwanted behaviors, the moment I decided to break this addiction, I came face to face with something that was super difficult to deal with, and that was strong feelings. The first thing I had to figure out was how to face my feelings without acting out. Acting out was the go-to drug. It made everything okay. It made me forget about the problems I was facing. So I knew that I could always get away from these strong feelings by my unwanted behaviors. And so those unwanted behaviors were always sitting there in the back of my mind, waiting to assert themselves. So the way that this stuff works is we're going through all this pain. Life is challenging. It's a fallen world. Things don't work like they should. People don't do what they should. Our parents didn't know how to raise us, frankly. Love you, Mom. I'm grateful for you. But the things that happened in your life were happening in my life too. And things hurt. And when those things hurt, I was like any other human looking for a way to escape those things. As a matter of fact, the body almost doesn't distinguish between a mental pain and a physical pain. They're very similar. And we can cause great health problems in our physical body just by our mental processes. There's a great book about that I will link to below. It's called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. I've got the name written down here because it's a hard name to say. It's Sapolsky, Robert Sapolsky. But Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. Very interesting book. And what he talked about was the connection between what goes on in our mind and how it affects us physically. So you could say, psychologically speaking, there's not a lot of difference between mental pain and physical pain. They both affect the body very similarly. I'll be talking about a lot of the other books that really start to show how to walk out of some of that stuff and actually heal physical problems by addressing what's going on in your mind. So the first thing I want to point out, though, and the purpose of this video today, is just to say, when you stop medicating, when you make the decision to stop acting out, your feelings are going to come rushing forward. You've been trained throughout the years to act out when the feelings are strong. And so your feelings are going to help you to keep acting out when you stop the drug, because they want the drug. Your body is used to that and it works. So it's going to do everything it can to keep you acting out. The body is built to help you remember and get back to things that it thinks are the solution to your problems. There's a neurochemical, I think it's a neurochemical called delta phos-B. And that lays down markers in your brain that when you find something that is helpful, or that your brain associates as helpful, it shows you the way back to it. We often call those triggers, that when we feel a strong feeling, we then know we go down this road, we start this behavior, and then we get the drug. So our brain will actually produce those feelings sometimes. So when you stop acting out, not only are you going to feel the feelings because of all these unsolved problems that you never figured out in your life, you're psychologically, your brain's going to start producing those feelings also. So the first step in recovery, the first challenge, the first thing you got to figure out is, how the heck do I go through a day without my drug? So one of the first things we have to learn is that feelings are a gift. We have to reorient our thinking. Rather than the feelings being the problem that need medication, we need to instead see those feelings as a gift from God. Bottom line is, they are a gift from God. Just like you feel pain in your hand if you get it too close to fire, A strong feeling is a gift from God to help you deal with something that you might not do anything about otherwise. If you didn't have feeling in your fingers when you put your hand in a fire, then you would burn up your skin and destroy your hand. So you need the feelings in your hand. I mean, we could complain about the fact that we feel pain when we put our hand in a fire, but doesn't that defeat the purpose of pain? And doesn't it remove the pain's ability to solve the problem for us or to help us start solving the problem? Feelings are the same. Feelings are a gift from God to help us navigate a fallen world. I didn't make that up. That comes from Chip Dodd. Chip Dodd said that in his book, A Voice of the Heart. Great book. I'll also link to that below. And in that, he said, hey, you need these feelings. They are indicators. Like the oil light that you have in your car, when the oil light comes on or the check engine light, it's a message to you that says, stop. Go get your car checked out. You're going to do damage if you don't. It needs attention. A feeling is an indicator to you that something in your soul needs attention or you need to do something differently. So rather than medicating the feelings, we're learning to endure the feelings. And while we're enduring the feelings, we are going to go back and look at the problems we face. So how do we do that? Well, first, my suggestion is invite Jesus into it. As you start to feel those feelings, you say, Jesus, I don't even know how to deal with this. I am stuck. Please come sit with me in the middle of this and help me to endure it and help me to see what I need to do. That's a hard thing to do, frankly, because when you're feeling strong feelings, typically the last thing you want to do is invite Jesus into it. At least in my case, lots of times when I'm feeling strong feelings, I'm pissed. I'm angry at God. I want to walk away from my life. I want to walk away from him. I want to walk away from everything. I don't like it. So the first path or the first step along the path to recovery is saying, okay, even though I don't want to, I'm going to invite him into it. The other thing to do is go find your 500-pound telephone and pick it up and call somebody. I call it a 500-pound telephone because it's the last thing you want to do. I don't know why. I don't call it that. Other people have used that phrase and I like it because it highlights the fact that this is hard. Enduring your feelings is hard, and doing the right thing when you have those feelings is hard. And it's going to be heavy. But pick it up, wrestle it to your head, and call your friend or your sponsor or go to a meeting. Go to a therapy session with your therapist. You got to start talking these things out. When you start talking, you're going to notice that you're not alone, and you're going to start finding answers to the problems that you're now facing for the first time in your life. So your community will help, your relationship with God will help, but I promise when you start to face the feelings and you start to look at them and think about them and dream about them and pray about them and talk about them, you'll start to get answers. And when you get an idea of what to do, the crazy thing is it gives you hope. You suddenly go, I'm excited about implementing this new idea. And you'll find that some of them fail, but most of them work. And all of a sudden you'll start doing the things that are necessary and you'll solve the problem and you'll mature. I said it earlier that when you started acting out and medicating, you stopped growing in those areas of your life and you stayed a child. Now you'll look at the problems, you'll solve them, and you'll grow up. You'll become an adult in those areas of your life. Like mature adults, they know how to solve the problems they face because they've faced them and they learned. We're incredibly capable of doing this. We just didn't realize it was the goal. So I finally had to reject the idea that my feelings were something to escape and learn that they are a gift from God. They're telling me that there's a problem that needs my attention, and that if I'll sit there with God and my friends, the body of Christ, all of that will help me find a solution and walk right out of that problem and into a successful life. Thanks for watching the video today. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.